Good evening and welcome to the first game of the Bluefield Rams and the Milligan series today. Today on the mound for Bluefield will be Joe Gaither with Sean Seal at the plate, Nick Sturgio at first, John Greenwald at second, Moises Arisi at shortstop, Dylan Cutler at third, Aiden Brown in right, Bryce Medlock in center, and Ray Garcia in left. Today's going to be a pretty tough matchup as we face Milligan. They're, I believe, third or fourth in the conference. They'll definitely be a tough job to handle, but I believe Bluefield can come out with a win today. Also, I believe, what was I going to say? I was about to say I believe something, but now I forgot. Well, I'm sorry, guys. I was going to say something now I can't remember. But it just stopped raining about an hour ago. Got the field all cleaned up. Bluefield cleans up very nice after a rain, even though it just rained and it rained a ton. We just took the tarp off and everything, got it done in an hour. So props to everybody that got it done. But anyways, first pitch will be in a couple minutes. Up to bat for Milligan is, I believe this dude is Hawaiian, so it's Kala Hawaii. Kala Hawaii? Kala Hawaii? I don't really know how to pronounce that, but pretty cool name. Here's a first pitch from Joe Gaither. Called strike. Counts 0-1. Here's a 0-1 from Gaither. Ball down, counts 1-1. We're probably going to have to spin it a lot today for Bluefield as these hitters really sit fastball here. I have not seen them. Called strike 2. Was not expecting that from him. From Gaither, I believe. Counts 1-2 now. As I said, they really sit fastball. Kind of punish the fastball as that was like last year. Here's a 1-2. Ball down, counts out 2-2. Almost went. Joe Gaither has a really good plethora of pitches. One of them is a splitter, which is dies. Very good pitch from him. Here's a 2-2. Called strike 3. It's the first out of the inning. Now up is Baird. Man, they got some weird pronunciation of names here. Here's a 0 from Gaither. Ball down. Counts 1-0. Joe Gaither looked like he's throwing pretty hard today. Give him a little bit more oomph to it. Here's a 1-0. Ball up, barely up. Counts now 2-0. It's very humid in Bluefield. I am sweating up in this press box. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Called strike on the outside. Counts 2-1. Joe Gaither is a 23-year-old senior here at Bluefield. Transferred in from Limestone this year. Bunt from a 2-1. I've never seen that. Bobbles it. Now put the runner on base. Guess that's a little wasn't paying attention button there. No big deal though. Now up to bat is Melton. Joe's still nothing to worry about. Got one out in the top of the first. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. That was a G hack right there. Haven't seen that in a while. Here's 0-1 from Gaither. Did he go? He did go. I'm sorry, they're not my team. I don't think he win. But I mean, hey, gets a strike, you know. Here's a pickoff move. Milligan very loud in their dugout. Haven't heard that in a while since probably Montreat. Here's 0-2 from Gaither. Grounded to short, and that is through. Moises Arisi trying to dive to get that play, but was unable. Batter up now is Iezi. Easy? Jezzy? I don't know. Man, Milligan, if you're watching this, y'all got some hard pronunciations. Here's 0 from Gaither. Ball out, counts now 1-0. Nothing hurt here, though. Just a little bunt and a little grounder. They got two people on base. Here's 1-0. Ball up, counts now 2-0. Here's a 2-0 from Gaither. Counts out 3-0. Jimmy just trying to settle here. Here's a 3-0 from Gaither. Swung on and missed. Counts 3-1 now. Here's a 3-1 from Jimmy. Fouled off. Counts 3-2. Way to come back from Jimmy. Still got one out. Man, their first base coach is starting to look like a transformer. So many guards on him. Y'all can't see that, but he does. Here's a 3-2. Ball out. He walked him. Base is juiced. Now up to bat is Lobo. Here's a 0-0. Sounded like it broke his back there. We'll probably score 2. Did score 2. Yes. Lobo scored 2 on the first pitch. Game's now 2-0 Milligan. As I said before, they sit on that fastball, and he definitely did. Runners on third and first now for Milligan. Still one out. Here's going. Runner is safe. Very good throw by Sean Seal. He's just a little late. Definitely on the money there. Here's a 0-1 from Gaither. Swung on, fouled again. Counts now 0-2. They're just a hitting team on here, so we know they're going to hit. They've already got 3 hits in the top of the first, and there's only 1 out. So we know they're going to hit. We just got to find a way to keep them hits minimal. Here's 0-2. Swung on and missed. It's now 2 outs as he had a drop third strike there. That was Kale batting. Forgot to tell y'all that. Now up to bat is Jones. Here's a 0-0 from Gaither. Ball is fouled. They said it was fouled, but well, I don't know if he's acting, trying to say it hit his foot. They probably did if he's bending over. I don't know. Counts 0-1 now. Here's 0-1. Swung on and missed. Counts now 0-2. Here's 0-2 from Gaither. Fouled off. Still 0-2. Here's 0-2. Fouled off again. Still 0-2 with 2 outs. So I said Milligan has 2 runs on the board already. Here's the 0-2. Ball barely out. Looked like it was in the river there. Counts 1-2 now. Ball passed. Runner scores. Counts 2-2. Here's a 2-2 from Jimmy. Oh, almost went. Did not go, though. Counts 3-2. They are beating and banging in the dugout. 3-2 pitch. Popped up. Dylan Cutler makes a snag for the 3rd out of the inning. Bluefield is down 3-0 in the top of the first, and now we are going to the bottom. Now up to bat for your Rams is Dylan Cutler. Big ambush hitter here, so see what he can do here. Here's a 0-0. Looked like it cut. This dude might be throwing cutters. I think he does throw cutters because he's standing on the right of the rubber. Here's a 0-1 pitch. Yeah, I'm a pitcher here at Bluefield, so. And when I cut the ball, when I used to cut the ball, I'd always stand on the right, and I still do. It's just a comfort thing maybe for him, and it was a comfort thing for me too. Here's a 0-2 pitch. Ball out. Counts 1-2. Pitcher works very fast. Here's a 1-2. Ball down. Counts 2-2 now. Here's a 2-2. Called strike 3. I don't know what that was. It maybe was a slider. I don't know. It all looks the same up here. Now to bat is John Greenwalt. Dude kind of reminds me of Corbin Burns a little bit with that cutting action. Here's a 0. Ball up. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fouled off. Counts 1-1. Here's a 1-1. Grounded. He might beat it out. Oh, very close, John, for John Greenwalt to beat that out, but did not. Now to bat is Nick Sturgio. Sturgio's been having some pretty good games lately. See if he can build up on that. Here's a 0 from Sturgio to Sturgio. Ball up. Counts 1-0. Here's a 1-0. Ball down. Counts 2-0. Yeah, he is a big cutter guy. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Oh, and there's an error. That was a rocket to the shortstop, and he made an error there. Sturgio will get on base for Bluefield. First runner on base for Bluefield today. Now up to bat is Sean Seal. Here's a 0-0 pitch. Counts 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Counts now 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball's popped up. It's kind of a no man's land right there, and the second baseman gets it for the third out. I believe this is Smith up to bat now for Milligan. It's first at bat of the day. Yeah, it is Smith. Here's a pitch from Gaither. Popped. Oh, wow. That ball looked like it was tanked off the bat, but that is caught on the warning track. I really thought that ball was out. Never mind. Now up the bat is Kalawahi. No, I must be way off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing a person. That was a walk there. Now it is the top. That was Smith. Sorry, the person that got out was Jones before. That was a walk, 4-pitch walk there. Now up the bat is Kalawahi. Sorry, I had to figure that out. That's when I went mute there. There's a strike there from Joe Gaither. Here's a 0-1 from Gaither. Ball down. Runner's trying to go there, but it counts 1-1 now. Pick off there. Safely back. Got one out in the top of the second here. Milligan has 1 error, 3 hits, and 3 runs. Here's a 1-1. Ball down, counts now 2-1. Back pick again. Still 2-1. I'm surprised we even got this game going. It was downpouring for a long time. I'm surprised we even got it. So props to really all of us at Bluefield. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Ball up. Counts 3-1 now. Sorry if you can hear the very loud chainsaws in the background. Here's a 3-1 pitch from Gaither. Fouled off. Counts 3-2 now. Try to back pick again. Called safe. Counts 3-2. Back pick again. Safe again. I was right, guys. This dude is from Hawaii. I knew it was a Polynesian name. Or a Hawaiian name. It's Kalahuahue. I hope I pronounced that right. Here's the 3-2. Runner. They called that a walk. I don't know where that missed. It definitely looked like it grazed the plate there. You're still gonna hear it. I can't help y'all guys. Sorry for hearing the chainsaw. Here's a 0-0. Grounded. John Greenwald making an error will score a run. Now up the bat is Milton. Scores 4-0. Milligan. Here's a 0 pitch from Gaither. That's called strike. Counts out 0-1. From that walk there, that was the same exact pitch. I don't know why he called that one strike too, but here's 0-1. Swung on and missed. Counts out 0-2. Here's 0-2. Ball down. Counts. Runner going. Did not get the runner there. They're just stealing on us like madmen today. Here's a 1-2. Grounded to the first baseman. Going home with it. Called safe. Now scoring another run for Milligan. Here's a 0-0. Grounded to Nick Sturgio to get the second out of the game inning. Scores 5-0 Milligan. Now up the bat is Lobo. Called strike one there. It looked like he swung. Here's 0-1. Ball out. Counts out 1-1. Here's a 1-1. Popped up in the center. Bryce Medlock going under, and that is the third out of the inning. Scores 5-0 Milligan. Now batting is Moises Aristi. First at bat of the day, going to the bottom of the second. As I said before, Milligan has 5 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and we have 0 hits, 0 runs, 1 error. Here's the 0 to Aristi. Called strike 1. Here's a 1. Ball down, counts out 1-1. Here's a 1-1. Fouled off, counts out 1-2. Almost smacked me. Here's a 1-2 pitch of Reese. Swung on and missed. Now up to bat is Nico Guerra for the DH. Here's a 0 pitch. That ball was out. Counts 1-0 now. Let's go Pico. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Ball down, counts now 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That was a strike, counts now 2-1. Pitcher works very fast. Here's a 2-1. Ball out, counts now 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fouled off, counts 3-2 now. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Now up the bat is Aiden Brown. Called strike to Brown. First at bat for Brown today. Here's 0-1. Swung on a miss, counts now 0-2. Here's 0-2 pitch. Ball up, counts now 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Grounded through the middle. Shortstop makes a play, and that'll be the third out of the inning. Now up to bat is Lale. Called strike one from Gaither. Popped up. Sean still trying to get under that. That ball is foul. Counts 0-2 now. Here's 0-2 from Gaither. Ball out, counts out 1-2. Here's a 1-2. Popped up into left field. That is the first out of the inning. That ball is off the wall from Letterman. That'll be a double for him. Still one out in the inning. Map to bat is Jones. Here's a 0 from Gaither. Called strike, counts 0-1 now. Here's a 0-1 from Gaither. Grounded through short and third. Base runner holds up at third. Runners on third and first now. The batter up to bat now is Smith. He had a walk last time he was up to bat. Ball is back picked, but it's not picked off. One out in the inning. As I said before, up to bat is Smith. Here's a 0 from Smith. Runner going. Runner's caught stealing. 2 outs in the inning now. Here's 0, so Smith. Ball is put into the outfield to score another run. Now up the bat is Kalawahehe. Kala something. Ball is popped up. Looks like it's between. Ball is caught by Ray Garcia. Very good catch by Ray Garcia there. Milligan thinks that he didn't catch it, but he definitely did. Very good catch by Ray Garcia there. Sorry, we have two Rays on the team. Sometimes I get them mixed up. Wish we could give a replay there, but I believe he definitely caught that ball. He is ruled out. Very good play by Ray Garcia. Talking about Garcia is up to bat next for Bluefield. Up the bat as we speak is Ray Garcia. He has one strike on him as he fouled that off. Here's a 1 to Garcia. Ball down, counts out 1-1. Here's a 1-1 from Garcia. Ball looks super out, but counts 1-2 as the ump called it a strike. Here's a 1-2. Ball out, counts out 2-2. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Grounded. Ball's foul. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. First out of the bottom of the third. Pitcher currently has 4 Ks. Now up to bat is Bryce Medlock. Ball out, counts 1-0 now. Oh, good. Excuse me. Called strike, counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on a miss, counts out 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Ball in, counts 2-2 now. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Still 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Grounded right to the third baseman to get the second out of the inning. Now up to bat is Dylan Cutler. Here's a 0. Swung on and fouled. Counts 0-1 now. Here's a 1 pitch. Counts now. Oh, he called that a ball. Counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball down, counts out 2-1. Cutler had a backwards K last at bat. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung and went. Counts 2-2 now. Here's a 2-2. Grounded to first. PFP the bake, and that is the third out of the inning. On the mound for Bluefield now is Jaden Rose, freshman on the pitching staff. Very good two-seam changeup from Jaden. Very humble kid as well. Nap to bat for Milligan is Baird. Here's a pitch from Rose. Ball out. Counts 1-0 now. Here's a 1-0. Ball out again. Counts out 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Ball in. Counts out 3-0. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Ball up. Be a 4-pitch walk. Here's a pitch from Rose. Swung on and missed. Up to bat is Melton. Here's a 1 pitch. Looked like a changeup that just did not change. Counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and foul. Counts now 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Very good job by Jaden Rose. Here's a pitch. Ball barely out. Counts now 1-0. Fouled off. Counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball out. Counts out 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Popped up. Caught by Bryce Medlock. There's 2 outs on the inning now. Jaden Rose coming in very well here. Now up to bat is a Lobo. Lobo. I don't know. Here's a 0 pitch. Ball, runner not going. Ball 1. Here's a 1-0. Popped up. Nick Sergio calling that off, and that'll be the third out of the inning. Bluefield puts up its first 0 of the game. Now batting for your Bluefield Rams is John Greenwalt. So we go into the bottom of the 4th. Here's a 0 pitch. Bunt. Did not lay it down. Counts 0-1 now. Here's a 0-1. Counts 0-2 now. Here's a 0-2 pitch. Grounded to first. We'll make the out there. It's 1 out on the inning. Now up the bat is Nick Sturgio. Here's a 0 pitch. Ball out, counts 1-0 now. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Ball down, counts now 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Grounded through. Very good hit by Nick Sturgio there. That'll be the Sturgio's second hit of the day. Oh, actually first. The first hit of the day all day. Now up the bat is Sean Seal. Here's a 0 pitch. Fouled off, counts now 0-1. Here's a 1 pitch. Ball up, counts now 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Counts 0-2 now. All right, 2 outs on the inning now. Here's a 0 pitch. Ball up. Counts now 1-0 now. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Counts 1-1 now. Up now. Up to bat is Moises Arisi. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball up. Counts out 2-1. I don't know where that was. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Hammered into right center gap, and that is caught by the right fielder. Up to bat for Milligan now is Lale. Jaden Rose still in the pitch. Here's a 0 pitch. Ball out. Counts 1-0 now. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball down. Counts 2-1 now. Excuse me. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Got clipped there. Now up to bat is Letterman. Here's a pitch. Ball barely down. Called ball. Counts 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Hammered through the first second base gap. Runner holds up. Stay at second there. Now up to bat is Jones. Excuse me. Jaden Rose throws on a strike there. Counts 0-1 now. Here's a 1 pitch. Ball in. Counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1. Popped up. John Greenwald camping under it. Now up to bat is Smith. He's 1-for-1 with a walk on the day. Here's a 0-0. Ball up, counts 1-0 now. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fouled off, counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Rose. Ball up, counts out 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Fouled off, counts out 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Runner going. Runner's at third and first now. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Popped up. Probably will score a run here. Did not. There's 2 outs on the inning now, and it's still 6-0 Milligan. Now up to bat is Kalahoehe. Here's a 0 from Rose. Swung on and missed. Counts 0-1. Here's 0-1 pitch. Ball is hammered. Ball is out. That is now 8-0 Milligan. Ball got out in a hurry there. Now up to bat is Baird. Actually, it's 9-0 Bluefield. I'm at Milligan. Here's a 0 pitch. Ball up, counts now 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fouled off, counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball in, counts out 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Fouled off, counts 2-2 now. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off again, counts still 2-2. Here's a 2-2. Ball out, counts 3-2 now. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Through the second base gap. Runner takes a humongous round. Now at the bat is Melton. Yeah, Melton. Here's a 0 from Rose. Ball down, counts now 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Ball down, counts now 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Ball in, counts out 3-0. Here's a 3-0 pitch. Ball in again as a walk. Now up to bat is Melton. Here's a pitch from Melton. Ball out, counts out 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch from J. Rose. Ball out again, counts out 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Counts out 3-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Called strike. Counts out 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Right to Moises Ariz to get out of the inning. Ball was hammered, though. Now up to bat is Nico Guerra. That pitch was a strike. Here's a 1. Ball down, counts out 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on a miss, counts out 1-2. Asking if he's going there. He did not. Counts 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Ball down, counts out 3-2. Fouls it off. Counts 3-2. Here's a 3-2. Fouled off again. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ball up. That is a walk. Now up the bat is Aiden Brown. Here's a 0 pitch. Popped up. Ball is out. Counts 0-1. Here's a 0-1 pitch. Looks like there's going to be a double play going on there. And that is a double play. Oh, my thing just cut off. Yeah, I can hear myself now. We're good. It just cut off for a second. Now up is Ray Garcia. Here's our 1 pitch. Ball down, counts out 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on a miss, counts out 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss again. The end of the 5th inning. Now on the mound for Bluefield is. Sorry, guys. Now on the mound for Bluefield is Danny Aguaristi. And here's a pitch from him. Ball up. Counts 1-0. And up to bat right now is. Who is it? I believe it's Smith. Ball down. Counts 2-0 now. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Called strike. Counts 2-1 now. Danny has a very gross sinker. And it's lefty too, so it's even more scarier when you try to catch it. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Ball up. Counts now 3-1. Here's a 3-1. Swung on a foul. Counts 3-2 now. Here's a 3-2. Fouled off again. Here's a 3-2. Swung on and missed. We love Danny. Oh my gosh, I am way off. I do not know where we are in the Milligans lineup. My writing is terrible. Here's a 0-0. Called strike. Counts 0-1. Here's our 1 pitch. Ball down. Counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Called strike again. Counts now 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Oh, that was disgusting. But he did laid off of it. It's 2-2. I am so confused on where I'm at the lineup. I apologize. We might be at Iezzi. Here's a 2-2. Fouled off. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off again. We are at Lale. We are at Lale. Here's a 2-2. Ball out. Counts now 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off. Here's a 3-2. Fouled off again. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Dylan Cutler trying to get that ball. It is out. Danny Aguaristi working really hard. Man, we just came on. They're battling. They are battling. Here's a 3-2. Grounded to John Greenwalt. That was the end of probably like a 15 pitch at bat there. Good job by Danny Aguaristi to stay with it. Now up the bat is Lutterman. Here's a 0 from Aguaristi. Swung on and fouled. Here's a 0-1 from Aguaristi. Ball out, counts now 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Moises Reese came on under it. And that'll be the third out of the top of the sixth. Bryce. So we go into the bottom of 6. Bryce Medlock grounded out, and Dylan Cutler just hit a double. Now up is John Greenwald. He hits it through. He is staying at third. Now Bluefield has 3 runs. I'm at hits, sorry. Now up to bat is Nick Sturgio. Did not go there. Counts 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Counts on 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Swung on and foul. Counts 2-1 now. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Ball up, counts out 3-1. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fouled off, counts 3-2 now. Here's a 3-2. Grounded over third. Will score a run. High chopper there. Very good job by Nick Sturgio to get a run there. Now up the bat is Sean Seal. Here's a 0-2 Seal. Here's a 1-0. Counts on 2-0 with that ball. He was trying to back pick. Happy no, he didn't have to throw there, but. John Greenwald at second right now. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Fouled off, counts 2-1 now. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Ball out, counts to 3-1. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Called strike. Counts 3-2 now. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Ball up. That'll be a walk. Matt Bessaker is going to run for Sean Seal there. Now up to bat is Moises Aristi. Bases are juiced. Here's a pitch. Absolutely hammered foul. Almost hit Coach White. Coach White had to duck there. Here's a 1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Counts 0-2 now. Here's a 0-2 pitch to Reese. Ball out. Counts on 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. High grounder. Will score a run there. Did score a run, though. Did not get an out there. They called Nick Sturgey out, so there's 2 outs on the inning. Here's a pitch. Ball up. Counts 1-0. Back pick. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Guerra. Fouled off, counts 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball down, counts out 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 as he swings through it. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Grounded to shortstop. Get the out at second. Bluefield did score 2 runs that inning. Now up to bat is Jones. That was called strike. 0-1 pitch. Ball out, counts 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Counts 1-2 now. Very good job by Danny. Strikes him out. Very good job by Danny. We love Danny. Now up to bat is Smith. Here's a 0 from Agoristi. popped up. That is caught by Medlock. Now up to bat is Kilahuewe. I'm so sorry. I keep on messing up every time. Here's a pitch. Ball up, counts on 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch from Margaristi. Called strike, counts on 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball out, counts on 2-1. Here's a 2-1. Grounded to third. Will be safe there. Just a little hard play there. Now up for Milligan is Baird. Here's a pitch. Ball out, counts now 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fouled off, counts 1-1 now. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Fouled off again, counts now 1-2. Ball up, counts now 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. What I have noticed with Milligan's Pitching staff, they all throw cutters. Um, the starting pitcher for this game threw a cutter, and this one also throws a cutter. So maybe they're just trying to figure something. They found something out, or I don't know. You just don't really see that a lot in NAIA baseball, but yet again, I threw one, but that was just natural supination. So I don't know. Now up the bat for Bluefield is Aiden Brown. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed. Counts now 0-1 now. Here's our 1 pitch. Hit. Hit really hard. Not the bat. It's Ray Garcia. Here's a 0-2 Garcia. Called strike. This dude here is a grad pitcher. Here's a 1. Ball out. Counts out 1-1. Says on their roster he went to Creighton, which is a NCAA Division I. Here's the 1-1. Popped up. Ball is caught out of it. One out on the inning now. Now up the bat is Bryce Medlock. Here's a pitch from Medlock. Swung on and missed. Called strike 2. Here's the 0-2 to Medlock. Ball out, counts now 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Ball out, counts now 2-2. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Fouled off. Ball down, counts out 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Now up to bat is Dylan Cutler. Strike one to Cutler. Here's our 1 to Cutler. Ball up, counts out 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball out, counts now 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Hit on a line, but the center fielder caught it. That is the third out of the inning. Now up to bat is Melton for Milligan. Here's a 0 from Danny. Swung on and missed. Counts now 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Danny. Ball up, counts now 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Agaristi. Did not go. Counts now 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Ball is hammered foul. Foul ball. Counts 2-2 now. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Ball down, counts out 3-2. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Fouled off. Count still 3-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Agaristi. Fouled off again. Still 3-2. Here's a 3-2. Fouled off again. Here's a 3-2. Fouled off again. Here's a 3-2. Grounded. That is the first out of the inning. Nap the bat is Yezi. Here's the 0-0. Ball up. Counts now 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Moises making a dive and play. It's safe, though. Very good play by Moises. Just was safe. Nap the bat is Lobo. Here's a 0 pitch from Danny. Ball up. Counts now 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch from Agaristi. Ball out. Counts now 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Swung on a miss. Counts out 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on a miss again. Counts 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and miss. Another strikeout for Danny Agaristi. Now up the bat is Lale. Here's a 0. Ball out. Counts now 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Broken bat. And the ball is caught. I have never seen that before, and he just broke a metal bat. Wow. Now up the bat for Bluefield is John Greenwalt. It's called strike there. Counts now 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Swung and missed. Counts out 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ball up. Counts out 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fouled off. Counts 2-2 now. That was a ball. Counts now 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Now up the bat is Nick Sturgio. Ball is piped. And that would be Nick Sturgio's second single of the day. Now up to bat is Sean Seal. Ball is fouled off. Counts 0-1. Here's a 0-1 pitch. Called strike 2. Counts now 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ball is popped up. Be the second out of the inning. Now up to bat is Moises Aristi. Ball is through the second and first base gap. That will put runners on second and first. Here's a 0 pitch. Swung on and missed from Nico Guerra. Here's a 0-1 to Guerra. Did go there. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off. Count still 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That was a ball out. Counts now 1-2. Looks like catcher had something in his eye there. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Ball out. Counts now 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Nico thought he walked there. Counts 3-2 now. Ball down, and that will walk him. Now bases are juice, and Aiden Brown is coming up to bat. Did not go there. Counts 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Ball out again, counts out 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Ball out again, counts out 3-0. Ball out. Will walk in a run there. Score's now 9-3 Milligan. Now at the bat is Ray Garcia. Ball was ball. It's a 2-0 pitch. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Called strike. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Counts now 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Ball is foul. Moises Reese almost got hit by that ball. Here's a 2-2. Ball in. Counts out 3-2. Here's a 3-2. Fouled off. Here's a 3-2 Garcia. Ball out. Walked in another batter. Now at the bat is Bryce Medlock. Now up the bat for Bluefield is Bryce Medlock. Here's the 0-0. Called strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grounded to short. Did not dig it. They'll score 2 there. That will make it 9-6 Milligan. Now up the bat is Dylan Cutler. Here's the 0 to cut. Fouled off, counts 0-1 now. Here's the 0-1 to Cutler. Ball in, counts 1-1 now. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Ball in, counts out 2-1. Counts 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Called strike 2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fouled off. Counts still 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Grounded to the second baseman. And that will be an out. On the bump now for Bluefield is Brandon Poole, number 27. And up to bat for Milligan is, I believe, Letterman. Fouled off. Counts out 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ball is down the right field line and will probably be a double. Now up to bat is Jones. Here's a 0-0. Calling bunt there. Did not catch it. Both made really good efforts, Dylan Cutler and Sean Seal. Counts 0-1 now. Trying to bunt again. Pulled back. Counts now 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Going. Is safe. Here's a 2-1 pitch from Poole. Called strike, now 2-2. Here's a 2-2. Ball up. Counts out 3-2. Here's a 3-2. Swung on and missed. That would be the first out of the inning. Now up to bat is Smith. I don't know what's going on right now. Here's a pitch to Smith. I don't know where that missed. Counts 1-0 now. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Counts 1-1 now. Here's the 1-1. Ball down. Counts out 2-1. Very good job of Sean Seal to keep that in front of him. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Fouled off. Counts now 2-2. Here's a 2-2. Ball out. Runner's coming. That will score another run for Milligan. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Hammered through the middle. Still 1 out. Now up is Kalhawewe. Kolhuehe. Here's a 0 pitch. I don't know where that's missing. I'm going to be honest. Pitch is 1-0. Sorry. Count is 1-0, not the pitch. Here's a 1-0. Counts now 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. I don't know where that's missing. I really don't. Counts 2-1 now. Maybe he doesn't like it a little bit over the belt. I don't know. Really hanging him to dry there. Here's a 2-1 pitch. No go. Counts 3-1 now. Called ball. Walked that runner there. Now up the bat is Baird for Milligan. Here's 0-0. Ball out. Counts now 1-0. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Counts now 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Counts now 3-0. Here's a 3-0 pitch. I will walk him. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed. Counts now 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and miss again. Counts now 1-2. Oh, okay. Here's a 1-2. Swung on and fouled. Ball's fouled again. Count still 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Oh, no. Oh, I thought that was about to hit a car. I was about to get really scared. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Still 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Wow. Here's a 1-2. Grounded to cut. Scored a run there. Counts now 1-1. Called strike 1 there. Here's our 0-1 pitch. Fouled off. Counts now 0-2. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Popped up. Way high. Bryce Medlock camping under it, and that would be the second out of the inning. And they tagged up a runner. Game is now 12-6 Milligan. Here's the 0 pitch from Poole. Ball 1. Here's a 1-0 pitch from Poole. Popped up. Ray Garcia camping under it. That'll be the third out of the inning. Now batting is John Greenwalt. In the bottom of the ninth right now. Here's our 0 pitch. Fouled. Counts 0-1 now. Hammered right to the second baseman for the first out of the inning. Now up to bat is Nick Sturgio, and here's the 0 pitch to him. Fouled off, counts now 0-1. Called ball, counts now 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Fouled off, counts now 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Popped up. Fouled again. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Grounded to third. Called it foul. I don't think that was foul, but okay. Counts 1-2 still. Here's a 1-2. Called strike 3. Not the bat is Sean Seal. Here's a 0-0. Fouled off, counts now 0-1. Ball out, counts now 1-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Ball up, counts now 2-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Ball up, counts now 3-1. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Ball up. That will walk Sean Seal. Next up the bat is Moises Aristi. Here's a 0 pitch to Aristi. Fouled off. Ball was hammered though. Counts 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off. Counts now 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ball out, counts now 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Ball in, counts now 2-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. That'll be the first game of the series with Milligan winning 12-6.